Hi guys, I'm Creeper Plays. This is the first video on learning how to run Here Comes Niko. We will cover home and Hairball City in this video. Before we start, here are a couple basic things you need to know. For the run to be valid, you must use Live Split. There is a community approved auto splitter made by the runner Arrow that you will need to use. For the fastest time possible, be sure to run the game in Japanese. You can change the language in the settings menu in-game. Furthermore, you need to start the game from a fresh save file. You can reset your save file in the settings menu. If you want to keep your current save file, check the document in the description below on how to back up your save file. Without further ado, this is what a good home looks like. Home is pretty straightforward movement-wise. However, there are a couple things you need to know. First, this game requires a lot of text mashing. To make this a lot easier in your hands, you are able to use an in-game feature called automatic text mashing. You can text mash by holding the interact button and the center camera button. Check your key binding settings to figure out which buttons these are and remap them to your liking. Secondly, when the screen fades to black, you can already do a couple movement inputs. This means you can already do a wall jump over the top of Niko's home. It's a bit tricky to do, but practice it a few times and it will become fairly easy to do. Third, just to make sure you know, you can walk away from most conversations in the game by holding one directional button. This is how we skip the Pepper conversation here, or how to skip the first detective conversation in public pool. As of the upload date, you can only walk away by explicitly holding one directional button. This will not work with diagonals and may be a bit trickier on controller. Finally, the soda can. When hitting the soda can, be sure to not press any directional buttons or use your left stick. Niko's velocity will drastically slow down otherwise, and you won't be able to make it to the train station. Other than that, practice the movement for this level and pay the giraffe. When going to Hairball City, you will encounter train cutscenes. Use the text mashing as mentioned before and be sure to press Q to select the phone option, as text mashing does not press these options for you. It does not matter which phone option you press, so just spam it as you go. Once you arrive in Hairball City, it's time to really start the run. This is what a good hairball should look like.
Huh?
For most of these guide videos, I will focus on highlighting some of the tricks or segments that need a little bit more attention, and then I'll do some general tips and tricks at the end of the video. You should mostly copy the movement you see in all these videos, but I will call out some of the specific pieces of movement that just need a bit more explaining or are common struggles for new runners. After collecting your first cassette, you need to do volleyball. I have a video in the description below going in detail on how to do each of the volleys as fast as possible. So I recommend you check out that video. It is also in the playlist on learning how to run this game. To keep it simple, jump on the net and stay on the net, hitting back any balls as they come. Be sure to practice this a lot as it is RNG based. Secondly, throughout the level, you will have to collect 30 butterflies. You need at least 23 butterflies when leaving Gunther, so be sure to keep track of how many you have. The more you have, the better. I will now highlight areas in the run you need to get these butterflies in. There are 2 butterflies when going up to the palm tree platform where you collect your second cassette. There is 1 butterfly near the tunnel entrance. There's 1 butterfly when leaving the tunnel after the tunnel cassette. There are 4 butterflies when going to the red umbrella next to the first flower pot section. There are 2 butterflies on a platform with the 2 yellow flower seeds. There are 2 more butterflies on the next pot's platform. There is 1 butterfly near the wooden planks. There is 1 butterfly near Gabby. There are 4 more butterflies near Brooklyn Frog. There are 5 butterflies on the plaza with the hopscotch. There are 4 butterflies at the building with Gunther. There is 1 butterfly on the beach going towards the island with the cassette inside the blocks. There are 3 butterflies on the island with the cassette in the blocks. And finally, there are 4 butterflies at the back of the lighthouse here. You should have 30 butterflies by now. Do not collect more butterflies as it is pointless. Once you've hit 30, you're good to go. If by chance you are missing a couple butterflies before reaching Blessley, here are some backup butterflies. There are 3 in front of the lighthouse near the red umbrella in the water. And there are 2 butterflies at the pond near Gunther. And those are all the butterflies. This is the most RNG heavy section of the game besides Volley, so be sure to adapt your butterfly collecting where possible. Besides butterflies, you also need to collect 7 tapes in Hairball City before leaving for Turbine Town. Most of these are straightforward, however, there's one on the Lighthouse which is integral to a trick called Gamer Lighthouse. Let's go over that trick now. Jump towards the right side of the wall and be sure to avoid the blue climbing rocks. If you do hit them, Niko loses their ability to do a wall slide. so you have to jump off of them and attempt this again. After you do a short wall jump up, slide into the cassette. After collecting the cassette, be sure to hold forward to slide into the wall once more. After you slid into the wall, do a full jump off the wall, hold forward, and dive into the lighthouse. After that, continue to run. If you're having trouble with this trick, no worries. You can also jump off the wall after you got the cassette and use the red umbrella to get up to Dustin instead. And that's it for some of Hairball City's more complicated strategies. Here are some more general tips and tricks. Be sure to stay away from Pepper at the start of the level. When you do get hit, walk out of the conversation. For Gabby's quest, you can dive into the flower pots to complete them. If you have trouble with this, simply pick them up and jump into the flower pots instead. If you get stuck on the walkway when jumping on the umbrella towards Gunther, it means you held forward a bit too much. I suggest holding forward as you pass the walkway. From there, only hold forward and don't press jump. Niko should make it up without any effort. When doing Fish's quest, be sure to not hold a direction when diving. This will give your dive more distance. The movement guide by Ebisun, linked in the description, has more details on this, so be sure to check it out. And that's it for this part of the guide. Next up is Turbine Town. If you have any questions, be sure to join the Here Comes Niko speedrunning Discord or leave a comment.